Hello guys, today is going to be my fourth foray in my How to Play series, and today I wanted to cover Cowpuncher Reloaded by John Torres, aka the Basic Expert. And again, those are not meant to be deep dive, they're not meant to sell you on the game or tell you what the game is about, and I will not try to make you an expert, nor will I try to make you ready to run the game. I also those videos are like meant if you were to invited to join the game, a game session on a short notice. You can watch the video and kind of be able to follow along during the game. I will also not cover character creation. You can just follow the book for that, and or you can use a pre-gen character. And this is not a review. I'm not gonna comment about the design of the game, nor will I talk about the politics of the other or anything like that. If you would be interested in more of a commentary or review of the game, you can let me know down below in the comment section below, and maybe I'll make one at some point as a companion video. So let's get started. So Cowpuncher is a dice pool system that uses d6s. D6 are the only dice you're gonna need for that game. You're looking for success, so you get success on 5s and 6. The number of dice you're gonna roll for a test is gonna be one core die that you're always gonna roll, plus your attribute bonus die, plus your skill dice. And you look to beat a difficulty level, which 0 for easy, 1 for moderate, 2 for hard, 3 for extremely hard, 4 for nearly impossible. You got 3 attributes, which are vigor, finesse, and smart. The score for those go between 1 and 18, or more realistically between 3 and 18. They can lower with age as well. So that's something to you're gonna have to consider as your character get older. You get, I mentioned bonus dice for attribute. So attribute between 1 and 6 give you no bonus dice. Attribute between 6 and 12 give you 1. 13 and 17 give you 2. And if you get an attribute of 18, you get 3 bonus dice. Hit point, the books provide two manner to calculate hit point. The hardcore manner, which you roll your vigor dice, so the number of dice given by the vigor attribute, plus the core dice. And in that case, you don't look for successes, you just add the dice together, and this gives you like the number of hit point you're gonna get. Then there's two heroic manner given. The first one is to add all your attribute together and divide by 3. So basically you do the average of your attribute since there's 3 attributes. And the heroic 2, you do the same thing as the hardcore manner, but you double the result that you get. I prefer the hardcore manner or heroic 2 if you want my opinion. Hit point can also be used as a kind of a meta currency. You can spend 2 hit points to reroll a die, but you cannot reroll the core die, so you can reroll an attribute die or a skill die, and or you can spend 4 hit points to add a success to a roll. Your skills go between 0 and 5, with a little asterisk there I'm gonna cover later. Each skill is linked to an attribute, except for athletics, that it's linked to 2 attributes. You can either use it with vigor or finesse. Smart's got a lot of skill associated to it, but a lot of the life and death skill are associated to vigor and finesse. So, which one is there a balance there? That's for you to decide. There's the list of skill here. It's not a very big list of skill, but it's too big for me to read here. You can pause the video and look at it if you want. Leveling up, you gain 1 experience point per session, plus an additional experience point if you use an untrained skill. And when you spend the XP to level up, the XP is spent, so you go back to 0, and those are the number of XP you need to level up, so it should be rather fast, but the higher level you get, the slower it gets. On level up, you gain 1 hit point. You also gain some bonus skill, which is going to be 1 plus the number of success roll on a smart test, where 6 give 2 skill points instead of 1. So you're gonna roll a smart test. So it's gonna be your core dice plus the bonus dice given by the smarts attribute. And every 5 is going to give you 1 skill point. Every 6 is going to give you 2 skill point. And those skill point, actually, they don't increase skill directly. Well, if they're skill between level 1 and 3, you have to to raise the level of the skill costs you the level of the skill you want to get. So to get a skill level 0 to level 1 costs you 1 skill point. To get a skill level 2 to level 3 will cost you 3 skill point. When the skill get level 4 or 5, that is double. And at level 6, it's triple, which basically it costs you 18 skill point to get a skill to level 6, from level 5 to level 6. And I said that earlier the skill go between 0 and 5 is because skill level 6 is kind of an exception. It doesn't give you an extra die, so you still roll 5 dice for your skill roll, for your skill dice. But now 4, 5, and 6 is considered as success instead of only 5 and 6 for that skill. You got some derived stat. Movement is your vigor score plus your finesse score divided by 2. So basically the average between vigor and finesse. Inventory, it's a slot system. So you got a number of slots equal to your vigor score. And each item fill a number of slots. So it's not like 1 slot per item. Some item is going to take like 3 slot, 2 slot, 1 slot, 4 slot. And it should be indicated by the item or the GM, which they call the range boss, will tell you. Combat is organized in round. Each round lasts about 10 seconds. And there's a specific order to combat. So everybody's going to do the movement they want to do. Then you're going to declare the target for your attack. Or if you want to do something else, an attack. Then the attack's going to be resolved. The attacker roll. Target roll for defense. It can be either a finesse roll to dodge. Dodge can be used for melee attack or ranged attack. Then, or you can do, like, if you're in melee combat, you can do a melee combat, a melee attack to or a melee skill, melee roll to counter the attack. Then you roll for damage and you check for more. Gonna go a little more in detail here. The action resolution, which those for mostly the attack, they're resolved simultaneously. So every player roll at the same time. So you declare your target in the declaration phase. When it comes the attack phase, everybody roll, and if it matters, the order of action that happened, the action, the attack that rolled the most success or resolve first, and then you go from in the descending order to the attack with the less success. And sometimes it matters because like a disrupted attack doesn't go off. Even if you roll for it, you roll for your attack, but you roll low, so somebody else shoots you before that. Well, then maybe your shot is not going off. You can fan your gun. That's when you just like activate the hammer with the palm of your hand. And you have to declare that you're doing that in the declaration phase. Then you don't need to roll an attack roll, but the target of the fanning the gun are gonna roll finesse to dodge, and they're gonna get success on 4, 5, or 6. If they fail, they get hit by 1d6 bullet, and a failure is like if they roll no success at all. So 1d6 bullet, or the maximum number of bullet is the number of bullet in the gun. You can do multiple attack in a round, but every attack after the first one is gonna get 1 less die than the previous one. So if you have like 3 dice for your pistol skill and you want to shoot 2 times or 3 times, well, the first attack is gonna get is full 3 dice, then you get 2 dice, then you get 1 die. Dodging can be used, like I said, both for melee combat or range combat. If you roll 1 or more success, but you roll less success than the attacker, the damage is going to be half. Like, that's kind of like a partial success. At minimum 1. You're going to at least 1 point of damage. If you roll more success than the attacker, then you take no damage. When you do a counterattack, this is for melee combat only. So both gonna roll the melee skill, and the one with the most success land the blow. And if you both roll the same number of success, you both land the blow. So it's possible that you both kill each other at the same time. The damage is based on the weapon. So every weapon is going to list the number of die, and if there's any plus to it that you roll. The damage dies are added together. On damage roll, you're not looking for success. You just sum up the die, and dice explode on sixes. So every six you roll, allow you to roll an extra die. And if you roll a 6 again on that dice, you roll an extra die again. You can take cover, and you should. If you take full cover, you're gonna get 2 extra success on your dodge roll, and the damage, if you hit, the damage you receive is divided by 4. If you take half cover, you add 1 success to your dodge roll, and the damage is divided by 2. You can also get concealment if there's smoke, fog, or whatever, which work as the same as cover when it comes to success to your dodge roll, but it doesn't reduce damage if you get hit. Reload is going to be something that you have to do because it's a Western game. You don't have like those big automatic gun or semi-automatic gun with magazine and stuff. You declare that you want to reload in the declaration phase. This is done instead of an attack. Every firearms have a reload speed, which is equal to the number of full round that is needed to reload your gun, to fully reload your gun. And when you, on the first round that you do your reload, you can make a weapon test, which is going to be linked to the weapon that you use, so either pistol or rifle, shotgun. And every success that you get reduce the reload time by 1. And on the subsequent round that you're reloading, you can do a finesse test, and every success is gonna reduce the reload time by one round more. Yeah. So that's about what I wanted to cover for that game. This is really the basic. It's a fairly rule-light game, so there's not too much to say about it. With that, you should be able, like if you're invited to a session, you should be able to follow along, know how the mechanic works. There's more to it. The range boss would inform you of the little detail and that you need to know that are more situational. I hope this is going to be useful to someone, or that you at least found it interesting. I thank you for watching, and if you have any question, feel free to ask down below. Or if you're familiar with the game and you think that I missed something important, or if I got something wrong, write it down and I'll pin the comment so others can see. If you'd like me to do more of a review, of a discussion or critique of the game, which is a game I like, I got to say, you can ask in the comment as well, and maybe I'll do it at some point. Have a good day and take care.